Hey guys, Squirrely here, and the time has come. I'm making a trading tutorial video. People have been asking me to make a trading video for a very long time, so I'm going to start today. This is the very first one of a series coming up, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. But before I get started really quick, just a couple of things to cover. First of all, thank you guys so much for the 1,000 subs. I've been inactive, but it's cool to see the subscriber count continuing to grow. That's more motivation for me to make content if people are enjoying it, so thank you. And also, I made a Steam group. I figured it's a good idea to get everyone together to post, my new videos. But I also wanted it to be for you guys to post your loadouts. I'm going to do giveaways and contests on there. So it's just a place for everyone to come together and talk about, unusual hype and update hype and changes that are happening to the game. Show off your loadouts. Just talk about trading in general. Ask for help. Share stories. Whatever you want to do. So definitely join the Steam group and get kind of involved in everything like that. I just made it. It's fresh. I've only made one post, which is my loadout. And you guys can post pictures of your loadouts below and kind of get that thread going. Alright, so this first trading video, these tips and tricks, I guess is kind of what I'm calling them, is things that you could either use to your advantage, or they could be things that you want to look out for. So it's just good to be aware, of what the bad guys are doing, because then you know kind of how to counter it, how to avoid it, and then also you could use it as well. You could use it to your advantage. So I guess you can either, put on a black hat or a white hat. It depends. Are you going to use this information for good or for evil? It's totally up to you guys, but I think it's pretty good stuff to start at least. This is just 5 topics, and I'm going to do a whole series. I have a bunch more already made. I'm probably going to do them 5 at a time and post them. That way they're easier to absorb, they're easier to watch. And alright, let's get started. Alright, so first one on the list is people who are quote-unquote quick selling, who actually aren't quick selling. So one of the more common ones, you'll see this in servers. Sometimes you'll see it on Outpost too, but people who are quick selling a hat, and then it's just kind of like that's all they tell you. So then you're like, okay, what hat? What effect? That's like the most important thing, right? And maybe they tell you and you're interested, right? You're like, okay, cool, what are you quick selling it for? And then they say this, offers. Automatically, that's not a quick sell. You're just trying to trick people into offering, because what they're going to do is say, okay, taking offers. So then it's like they basically tricked you into offering pure on a hat, which you wouldn't have offered on before. But they're basically saying is I might discount it, but I'm just going to get a bunch of people to trick them into offering on it, and whoever offers the most, then I'll just sell it. So then they probably won't even end up quick selling. It's just kind of it's just a cheap way to kind of trick people into getting interested. To offer pure. It's just kind of a way to really grab people's attention and saying you have a really good deal, it's an awesome deal, come over here, look at me, and then when they actually come over there, you just basically trick them like, yeah, well, I don't have a price, so how much would you pay? It's like, you just tricked me into offering on your hat and giving you, current offers instead of you actually having a price and then seeing if people are interested. So that is one thing you will see quite a bit. Anytime someone doesn't have a price for something and they're either discounting or quick selling, if they don't have a price, it's not a legit quick sell. So whenever people say that to me, I just say like right away, like, sorry, not interested. Like, quick sales have a discount on them already. They have a price. And usually for quick sales, it's around 30%. Discounted. If it's really high tier, like 15 or 20%, sometimes it's still a really good quick sell, but in general around 30%, or if it's a super cheap item, 30% is kind of high. So it just really depends, but overall 30% is where some people kind of draw the line of whether it's like a legit quick sell or not. But don't be tricked if someone is quick selling for no number, just offers, then I suggest you don't offer. It's not a quick sell. They just want to trick you into offering pure, that way they can, say they have a pure offer. Another trick you will see in servers, which is kind of comical, it's usually lower tier or newer traders you see doing this, is they will say, who has keys? Or who has a hat worth 30 keys? Or who has a max head? Or they basically just try to get your attention because they know there's people in the server that have this, right? Who has a medic hat? Who has a scout hat? Right? So people are like, hey, I have keys, I have a scout hat, or whatever it is, right? They get all excited. And then they'll trade you, and basically they got you into a conversation, they got you into a trade, and you have no idea what they have, you have no idea what they're selling. Odds are you're not going to like what they have. That's why they're just like throwing out these big broad answers, or these big broad questions of who has this, right? Because they know everyone has keys, or most people in trade servers are going to have keys and hats and stuff. So whenever I see this, I just say, like, what do you have, right? Like, what are you trying to sell? Because that's all that matters. What do I have? What do you have? Are we both mutually interested? If not, it's kind of a waste of time to just ask who has keys, because odds are you're not really interested in what they have. So sometimes you get lucky, but in general, if they're asking a really broad question, you want to find out what they have before you start a conversation and, waste your time. Another one kind of similar to the last one is people kind of manipulating words to get attention and get you interested is in trade service, people will say buying blank. So buying a max head, trade me. Buying Australian scattergun or a low tier soldier unusual, right? Like they get you interested that they're buying something, they're ready to go. So then you talk and you trade, and then you end up seeing that they're buying something with items. They're trading. That's not buying, right? You can't walk into a store and buy a t-shirt with like, you know, here's an old watch and my hat. I'm gonna buy your t-shirt. Like, no, that's trading. This isn't, you know, a flea market, right? You don't buy stuff like that. So when people say buying, they should mean pure. So whenever I ask, or whenever I see people saying, "Oh, I'm buying a mech head," I say, "What are you buying with keys? Or are you trading?" Just, you know, save yourself a trade and the hassle of, you know, just kind of wasting your time or getting in an argument over something that's just silly. So buying means pure. They have keys or something similar to keys, right? And then trading usually means items or mixed or something like that. So basically people will kind of trick you into getting interested in jumping in a trade. Hi, I'm buying a max head. And then you look and they have like a specialized kill streak item with parts that they're overpricing, a bunch of random craft hats, and then a bunch of stranges. And you're like, you're not buying this. You're trying to trade a bunch of junk for this. So something to look out for. So next up on the list is people who just flat out lie about offers. So this is actually a very serious offense on websites. If you fake offers, basically, you get banned permanently, I believe. I don't even know if you get a warning, which is probably good because you're basically faking that people are more interested. So if you have like a 200 key hat, or if you have a hat that's unpriced, this is where people do it more often, is they have a hat that's either new or unpriced, and then their friend or an alt account or a friend of a friend or whatever will offer, sometimes publicly or privately, or send a trade offer so that way they can take a screenshot. It's like, hey, I'm looking for 300 keys in this random unpriced hat. This guy offered me 250 and I declined it. And then you look and you're like, yeah, you're friends with this guy. He doesn't have any keys. And, you know, like, he doesn't look like he's even owned an unusual because his account is new, you know, whatever it is. You can do your homework and see. So you have to learn how to do your research and check people's alts and multiple accounts and history of hats and items. And a lot of people kind of spread out on different websites, so you can check on there to see if they're lying to you. But fake offers is a big no-no. It's just a straight, you know, they just straight up lie to your face sometimes. So just be aware of that, because that's going to influence you, right? If they have a 300 key hat and they're telling you, I declined 250 keys, they're saying you got to offer higher than that, right? So if you do offer higher than that and then you outbid them and you get it and you find out, oh, he totally faked it and this hat is not popular and it's not worth 300 keys, and you know, you're kind of out of luck. So this next one is a little bit more advanced, I guess you could say. This is, you know, you're dealing more with kind of human psychology and kind of put a little bit of a time pressure on people without doing it directly. This is something I've used a lot in the past. I just haven't done it too much recently, but it does work pretty well. Basically, what you do is you send a trade offer to someone when you know they're online. That way you're pretty sure they're going to see your trade offer. Sometimes you can even post on their profile, like right after you send the trade offer. And then what you do is you sign offline right away. And you do this because they're going to see your comment and they're going to see your trade offer and be like, maybe you send a trade offer for 28 keys for a max head, right? And like, well, I really wanted 29 or 30, and then those check and like, oh, well, dang it, he's offline. And like, well, I don't want to lose his trade offer, and I don't want people to, you know, I don't want him to spend his keys on something else, and I haven't got another trade offer that's as good as this right now, so he might not sign online for a while. I don't want the trade to expire, so they might just accept your trade offer, and boom, there you go. Because what happens if you are online, he's going to comment back or add you and say, hey, add it to discuss, which I avoid at all costs. It just takes too much time, but sometimes it works. So what they're going to do is they're going to add you out and say, hey, I saw your trade offer for 28. Could you do 29 and add some sweets or whatever it is, right? Or could you do 30 and I'll add some hats or whatever it is, you know. So basically, to avoid that, you still get a good deal. You say, here's my offer. I'm not available, so either you take it or leave it. And if they leave it, then that's fine, right? You tried. But more often than not, that seems to work. When you offer someone a trade offer, you alert them that you sent it, and you sign offline. That way they can't really try to hassle you on the price, right? It's like either take it or leave it. And if they take it, then you're good to go. A little advanced trick is send a trade offer, send a comment, sign offline. Alright, so hopefully you guys liked my first round of tips and tricks for trading. I have a huge list to go. I got like 30 or 40 more things to go, but I just didn't want to cram it all in one video and make it super huge. So I'm going to put them in different chunks for you guys. Also, I have a Q&A coming up, so if you guys have any questions I'm going to add it just to a big master list of questions. I like for it to be mostly involving trading and unusuals and TF2 stuff, but if there's some other stuff that might be okay as well. But I want this channel to be more about the nicer things of TF2, right? The crazy buys and sells and profit stories and just all kinds of stuff involving that. So I have a whole lot more coming for this series of tips and tricks, things to look out for, things that you can do as well to kind of boost your chances of making a sale. Also, I have other more advanced trading tutorials coming up on how to make crazy profit, get into niche trading, and just do things that the kind of your average trader doesn't do that will just help you, jump up a lot higher in the stratosphere of backpack and items and stuff like that. So thanks again. I will see you guys in the next trading video. Thanks.